Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, or wherever you are. If you feel like sharing that information in the chat, I'd love to know who's here and from where. We've had people from the East Coast of the US. We've also had people joining in from Australia and other parts of the world. I'm not sure, but I know there's a few people who've been not on the same continent, so that's been nice to connect with dancers around the world. So glad you're here. I'm going to start the Instagram feed, so I'm live on YouTube first, and if you have the WebEx link, if you're enrolled in the course, you can join in on that to let me see your video. So I know you're doing the movements along with me, but I know you're going to do them anyway. Today, and I'll give you a minute to write in the chat if there's anything specific you would like me to address in this session today. I was thinking we could go into more of the footwork and steps and how all that blends and comes out of the body in choreography, because in our belly dance and our Persian dance session, we're getting ready to go into choreography and really dive into how all of the things that we've been doing with body alignment, muscle engagement has translated into actual dancing with music and choreography. And so if you have any questions, please type those in the chat if you're on YouTube. And I'm going to get our Instagram going, so I'll let you think of a question to add in the chat, that if there's a specific request with regards to footwork and steps, then I'd like you to put that into the chat right now while I get our Instagram people to join us here. We're not on Facebook today, we're just on Instagram. So we'll get that going live. All right. Good morning, Instagram. We're doing a dance session today live on footwork, steps, and any other requests you have that goes along with that. I'm taking those now. We are also live on YouTube. You can type in the chat if there's anything specific that you would like me to address when it comes to footwork and steps, because we're doing choreography in our sessions. So we're doing a lot of step transitions, moving from one step to the next, going from not moving to moving, going from changing directions. So those are all the things I hope to help you with today. So we'll get started in just 1 minute. I promise just 1 minute. Hi, who's on Instagram here? Hello, hi, welcome. If you're just kind of waiting, it's a good idea to get your feet warmed up. So go ahead and start circling around on your ankles. So what I'm doing here is I'm pressing on the ball of my foot. Let me get the YouTubers to see my feet. This is a challenge, always getting like the angles right, but also I want you to be able to, there we go. So just get some foot warm up in here. Press on the ball of the foot, circle around, and then try the other side. So what I usually do with this is I press on the ball of the foot, I extend my hand out, belly in, and circle with some engagement here in the upper arm. So we're circling around, and then we'll reverse it. So circling inward, and then do the other side. So do that a few times at your own pace, and then I'll incorporate it into the official warm-up. I want to get more people to get on who are interested. This is our live public class, so reverse. So do that a little bit. Do what you need for your legs to warm up. All right, so let's see who we have. All right, good morning, Instagram. Thanks for joining me. All right, we'll check our other feed here, and then we'll start. Excellent. All right, so today's class, we're going to work on some footwork and steps. I have a couple of steps that I've developed some interesting transitions and moves for. These steps are universal. They don't fit exactly with one style. You can stylize them for really anything. They appear in Western styles, in ballet and jazz, in every dance style on earth, because there's only so many ways to move 2 feet. And so the different ways that we use our feet are very small, but the way that we add movements to them, the way that we time those steps can really come out differently depending on what music we're working with and what that feeling of the music is and the structure of it. So we'll play around a little bit with some of the footwork, and you don't need a lot of space, but if you can kind of get a little bit of space where you can move a little bit side to side, a little bit forward and back, that would be good, but you don't need a lot. You can even have a little circle. Those circles are nice to be able to get more traveling in. But for the most part, we won't do a whole lot of traveling. Obviously, we don't have a lot of space, but we will do a little bit more with having transitions, direction changes, and I'm just going to kind of let you guys guide me and the flow of things guide me. So let me know what you're thinking. I'll check the chat in a couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So let's do our quick warm up. Get ready here. Gonna freestyle the hair today. All right. So nice deep breath. We're going to do tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Make sure your knees are soft, abs are pulled in, and take a nice deep breath. Inhale, open up. Exhale, coming down, flat, and then inhale up. And this time through the center, coming down. Up and open, inhale. And exhale. And then up and close, inhale. Exhale, coming down through the center. Get a couple of warm-ups for your abs. We're always using our abdominals, contracting and releasing, making sure that you're using your muscles and letting your tailbone rock under and release. So tucking and release. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Tuck and roll up all the way. Nice deep breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. One more. Inhale, open. And exhale. And relax. Shake it out. Let's get the arms away. So arms are really important in traveling and moving with a proper or elegant body carriage, controlled and fluid. So take a nice deep breath. Inhale, open the arms, and we'll circle around. You think about this as a circle up, and then they split. And then we reverse it, up and in. And then we're going to reverse. We're going to go, one arm is going to go in one direction, and the other is going to go in the other. So they cross each other. One's going up, one's going down. And then we reverse it. We're working on our arms if we're going to do footwork. So you don't forget you have arms. Shake it out. When we start doing lower body things, everyone forgets they have arms. They just start dancing like this. They just drop their arms. So remember you have arms, and this can also determine the style of dance that you're doing depending on music. All right, let's get started with some feet. So the first step we're going to do is called a 3-step. And the pattern is just 3 steps. And just do it in place with me. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to try not to use rights and lefts just because everybody might be seeing a different image. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3. So step with one foot, step with the other foot, and then step with the original foot again. So it's just 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. And every time you do this, you change feet, and this allows us to change direction or do things to the other side. So if we take 3 steps to the side, 1, 2, 3, So then the other foot is free if we continue 1, 2, 3. The way that we time these 3 steps can make a really big difference in how the music comes out, or what kind of rhythmic pattern we're making. So if we do it just steady, 1, 2, 3, fourth one we touch, 1, 2, 3. So we're kind of going with a steady beat. Other times we're kind of we're taking the second beat and we're incorporating it into a 2 count, right? So it's not just 1, 2, 3, but it could be 1 and 2, and then the 3 or 4 could be the touch. So 1 and 2. So we're quickening up that step. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We can take this forward and back also. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then back 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And so we put these together to make patterns in our footwork. So this step, I call it a 3-step. In different dance forms, it's called something else, depending on, it could be the movement that you're doing on top. But I'm just going to call it a 3-step so that you know what I'm talking about. We're just going to take 3 steps. So let's practice this a little bit in different modes or styles. This is a good warm-up for the feet as well. All right. A nice steady beat going. So we're going to start with just some bounces. So you're going to bounce twice on one foot and then twice on the other. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. We're going to get the rhythmic pattern. Bring the attention into the abs. Let's get our arms in there. So far, it doesn't look like much. Just trying to kind of feel your body moving to that pattern, getting warmed up a little bit. Paying attention to your feet and how you're controlling that step. Are you just bouncing around? Or are you really controlling that step? Think about how you're softening the step down on the ball of the foot. So we're not just flopping around. Abs in, chest is open, relax the shoulders. Let's add some arms to it. Just getting warmed up a little bit. This is your first activity for the day, like it's mine. It's important to start slow. Good. Let's go side to side with that. Again, paying attention to your form. Starting to feel your heart going a little bit, hopefully, but not too much. Still keeping it pretty low to the ground. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. So we can also take this forward and back. Walk forward towards your camera or your phone and then walk back. Just feel how that changes the dynamic. Let's do it again. And back. And we're still kind of trying to bounce up and down so that you get your feet really feel what's happening. But let's go side to side again. And we're just moving with our whole body. We're not isolating anything. So right here, let's put that foot behind. Let's see what happens there. Let's add those arms. So make sure you keep your abs engaged. Now this step always makes me want to lean slightly forward. And this is really great for developing other skills. So see if you can lean slightly forward. Just let your arms flow with control. And always taking that foot behind. Now let's lean into it. Let's see what happens there. For now, we're just going to do a touch. But it still fits the same pattern of that 1, 2, 3. Lean into it. Keep those abs engaged. Make sure your knees are soft. Even adding a little bounce in the knee really helps keep the rhythm, and also so that you don't just lock yourself to one side. Let's lean away. We were kind of doing this before. And do that same thing with the foot. Put the foot behind, lean away. So we were doing this earlier with that. So lots of different ways to use the upper body with that. Shake it out. All right, so let's add some movement to this. So the one thing that I always add, because I do Middle Eastern, we have a lot of hips. So I add a lot of hips to that. Different kinds of hips you can add. So you can add like percussive hips. So try it with me. Your percussive hips are going to come from your glutes and a little bit of ab control. So you're going to think about taking a step and then controlling the glute contraction at the same time. So when we step to one side, get that glute ready, boom, and then the other side, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And essentially it translates into 2 hip movements to one side when we're traveling with it. So right and right, or left and left. So 2 to one side, 2 to the other. 2 to one side, 2 to the other. With this, we can actually start traveling if we're not doing it in place. Sometimes it helps to actually do the 3 steps. So travel side to side with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this would be more like belly dance style. We're going to use this in our choreography in the belly dance session this week. We can go on releve, as I was doing, and this allows you to make really sharp movements here. 2, 3, you can travel around with this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This can get pretty aerobic if you're keeping this consistent for the whole song. So it's a good activity to incorporate into your daily routine. You can actually just travel around like this if you want to get a little bit more exercise in your day. Just travel around your home. So think about how you're going to use the hips. So another way is using them softly. And you can do this on releve as well. We can make curves. So let's try that. We're doing the same movement side to side, but let's add a little angle to it. So we're going to think about really extending that movement into a circular pattern. So I'm going to take the move out with my step, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to continue with the movement, finish the movement, and then start the other side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Musically, this could translate as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So counting the musical beats this is how it would fit in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And remember, with this step, we kind of keep the upper body nice and open to the front and allow the lower body to make this, it's a figure 8, essentially, circling around. One side and then the other. And this is actually a great entrance step if you're doing Arabic style. And it fits your music. You're just kind of opening. And we'll use this in our Arab choreography. You can also go back with this. You have to put the foot behind. So you're traveling forward, you're going to bring the foot forward. You're traveling back, you're going to bring the foot back. Makes sense, right? So keep that in mind. There's a lot of common sense to it and logic. So going back and back, back and back. And you can actually do this one in place too. Just letting the foot swing the 3, 1, 2, 3. Trying to keep the upper body as much forward as you can, nice and lifted. When we use our abs and our pectorals to stabilize what we're doing, especially the lower half, then your upper body is free to do all kinds of things here. So you don't want to be stiff with that. Now, shake that out. All right, I'm going to check the feed for any questions. say hi to you guys before we move on. Hi, everybody on Instagram. Hello, glad you're joining me. How are we doing on YouTube here? Do we have any questions that I can incorporate? Hello. All right, got lots of people on YouTube and Instagram. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, excellent. I have, let's see. Oh, lots of people. Hey, guys. Awesome. All right, let's move on. Let's do some fun steps with this. I'm going to select some steps from our upcoming choreographies. So some of this will be review if you're enrolled, but I'm going to keep it short so we can do lots of different things with it. I'll just do some of my favorites. So the next step, we're going to add a turn to those 3 steps. So remember that we are working with 3 steps, but we can do anything with those 3 steps and we can change the dynamics of it, right? And so when we add a turn to it, you can add a turn in either of those rhythmic patterns. You can add a turn in the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if you want to try that with me, you don't have to travel far, but we step 1, we step 2, turn it around, step 3, come all the way back. So then you should still be on the opposite foot, and then 1, 2, 3, pivoting yourself around. Often it's easier to just do it in time with the music, a little faster. And 1, 2, 3, and touch. Again, 1, 2, 3, and touch. So that's a pretty basic turn in dance. The other rhythmic pattern in the step is doing it the same way as we were doing with the quick step, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this turn is also a 3-step turn. It's just in 2 counts of the music. So 1 and 2, but we're taking a step on every single one of those. First step, second step, third step, 1 and 2. So we're going to do that 1, 2, 3 with your feet. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. And then the other way, 1, 2, 3. So this is a little bit quicker. And it works the same way as going side to side or forward back. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. With the turn, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And so this becomes a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more exciting within a choreography. So let's do the 1, 2, 3 step in different rhythmic patterns, and then we're going to add those turns to it. We'll do it with some music. These are 1. So let's get it going. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get the arms ready to help with that transition to 3E and a 4. 1, 2, 3E and a 4. 1, 2, 3E and a touch on the 4. 2, 3E and a 4. 1, 2, 3E and a 4. 1, 2, 3E and a 4. Now, smaller steps are actually better. I'm just exaggerating so you can see a little better. 1, 2, 3E and a touch. 1, 2, 3E and a touch. 1, 2. One more here. 1, 2, 3, and back. Ready for our turn. Make sure you got a little bit of space. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and a touch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how that works. You want to switch back to the other side. Ready? 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3. In place 2, 3. Place 2, 3. Turn 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Turn 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Relax. Shake it out. So musically, that comes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. And then repeat 2, 3, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Let's do it again with those counts. Ready? 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. And 1, 2, 3E and a 4, 5 and 6, 7 and turn, 1, 2, 3E and a 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Relax. Take it out. Stretch out your feet, whatever you need. Good. All right. Next part, we're going to add a 2-step into our movement. So we're going to have a pause. We're going to go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Switch feet 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember, every time you do a 1, 2, 3 step, doesn't matter what tempo, you're going to switch sides because it's an odd number. So for our 2-step, we're going to go 1, 2. And then you're back to your original spot. This one doesn't change feet. Just come back to your original. So we go 1, 2 in beats of the music, and then 1 and 2 with our feet. So we do 4 counts. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and relax. Check it out. So same thing here, arms. Your arms are going to frame what you're doing, depending on what movement you want. If you're going to use your shoulders in Arabic style, we might use some shoulders, we might use hips. So you want to put your arms where that works. In Persian, we might use our head, just to give you some examples. So we might go da-da-da-da-da here, and open the arms, and then da-da-da-da-da here. I've never done that one myself, but it is something we can do. The ones I do most often, we do shoulders, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, when you do shoulders, you have to keep your abs engaged and keep the chest lifted. The biggest mistake I see when dancers want to incorporate shoulders into their footwork is they lean forward. They push their chest out like that, and I don't want you to do that. It's better if you lift. So this is an isolation you can add. And it can be an accent that's sharp, a lift, like boom. Or it can be subtle to just bring attention to the shoulder or arms, depending on what you're doing. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're not doing this. Yeah, this is not what we're doing. It's that tiny little isolation. Really just squeezing internally. We don't want to do that. That could be a move. Just be aware of what you're doing so that you're not just doing it one way. That's the only way your body knows how to do it, and it's not even intentional. So everything we do has to be intentional. If I want to do this, it's because I want to do it, not because that's my default and I don't know how to control my body. So just keep that in mind. So little lift, and then your shoulders should be free. You can add a little shoulder movement to that. 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Same thing with the arms. 3 and 4, open, 7 and 8, 2, 3 and 4. And always keeping your rib cage to the front, no matter what your body is doing. You want to show where the movement is here. So if it's the shoulders, I want to keep the rib cage open to the front. 4, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 3, and 4. So how do you control all of this? Is your knees have to be soft. So making sure that you're not locking your knee on that step unless that's part of the style. We're doing our hips, we can't lock our knees. So don't lock your knees unless that's what's meant to happen in the style of dance you're doing. So you could be like, doing stuff like that, that's fine. That's totally up to you, but be aware of it. Be aware of what you're doing. So let's do a little bit of a fancy turn with this. I have a little combination that we're going to use in one of our choreographies. And it's really just a continuous step, and it's fun to do. It's not, sometimes when we overthink it, it becomes a little more complicated, so I'm going to share it with you. And let's see how that goes. Let me say hi, make sure there's no questions in the chat, and we'll do one more thing. Hello. Oh, hey. Hi, guys. Hey, Instagram. All right, I got my people on YouTube. It's really nice to know you guys are out there saying hi. Makes me feel connected to everybody. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, let's do one more step. So this step, I don't have a name for it, but it's a continuous 1, 2, 3 step, and we can do lots of things with it. So nice and slow, get your 1, 2, 3 step going, your 3 step, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And just a gentle little hip shift, hip, whatever you want to call it. Just relax the knees a little bit and you can push with your legs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's take this traveling in a straight line and continuous travel. So how can we do that? Right now what I'm doing is every time that I complete one cycle, I have to go the other direction, right? Unless I change how I'm stepping, right? So here's one way to do it. So I'm going to do it to the side so you can see. So I'm going to start on my right, and I'm going to travel to the active side. I'm going to do my step 1, 2, 3. And as I do that third one, I'm going to pivot myself. I'm going to face the other direction. So look, now I've switched feet, but now I'm going to travel in the same direction. 1, 2, 3. So now I have the same problem. I have to try, I want to go that way, but this foot is free and I'm not breaking the step. I'm going to keep the chain going. So what do I have to do? Well, I either have to rotate inward or I have to rotate outward. Inward meaning I have to place my foot, go the opposite direction, or I have to keep going towards my right shoulder. So let's start that again. Do it with me. Do it with me. You're going to step. 1, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Now, which way do I go? I'm going to go continue towards my right shoulder, but I'm stepping on my left foot, so I have to open that movement. 3. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. I'm opening the move. Let's try the other side. I know this one's tricky. You could practice this one in a hallway or down a grocery aisle. I mean, it's a great way to keep the social distance, right? Let's do that again. So you're going to step 1, 2, 3. You're going to turn towards this outside shoulder. 3. We're going to keep turning towards this shoulder, the same shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Even though you're going to be on the opposite foot, remember it changes your feet every time. Let's try it towards the mirror or towards your camera. We're going to stand sideways, so the outside leg, and I want you to keep your eye on the screen. I'm going to keep my eyes on the screen. This is what's called spotting. So if you get dizzy with turns or think you might get dizzy with turns or have never tried them, this is a good way to keep yourself from getting dizzy, but also it trains you to spot. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go towards this shoulder. On the third step, we're going to pivot. I'm going to keep going towards this shoulder, even though this one is to the front. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then go towards that shoulder again. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Now we're going to switch direction. So now I'm going to go towards this shoulder, moving back. But I'm going to start on the back leg here because I want to move that way. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then keep going. 1, 2, opposite shoulder, 3, 1, 2, 3, and if I were to keep going, 2, 3. So the turn is continuous in one direction. This is the harder of the two variations. The other variation is you switch direction. It's a little bit easier. So if I go to this side, I'll travel. I'll go 1, 2, 3, face the back. Now, initially I went this way. Now I'm going to turn towards this shoulder. 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I want to go that way, same thing. 1, 2. Go towards the shoulder. 3, 1, 2, 3. Got mixed up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're constantly changing direction. So let's go to the front. Come to the front, towards me, towards your camera. Doing the same thing. 1, 2. We're going to turn towards the downstage shoulder. 3. Now we're going to turn towards the other shoulder, which is now downstage. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then going back. So shift weight. Go towards your back shoulder, your upstage shoulder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now switch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. It gets confusing if you start thinking too much about it, but just think about the direction that you're turning. Think about in one of them, you're turning the same direction the whole time. There's no switching direction. So think about that instead of, is it my right shoulder or my left? Don't think about that. Just think about the direction that you want to turn. So either you're continuing like this, continuing the same direction turn. Or am I switching? Am I going to go this way and then this way? So that's the difference here. That's actually a great exercise right here. 1, 2, 3, switch, 1, 2, 3, switch, 1, 2, 3, switch, 1, 2, 3. And then if you were to keep going, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So those are your 1, 2, 3 turns with the turns. I want to add one thing with the hips, and then that'll be all we're going to do. We'll do this part of the music. So you're going to get your, this is a little bit more advanced. So if you want to try it with me, so instead of just side to side, we'll add a circle. So if you're comfortable with your hip circles, you're going to try that. So getting a hip circle going. Let's try clockwise. And you're going to step 1, 2, 3. And we're going to keep that circle going. And then step with the other foot. 1, 2, 3. So this is a really good thing to practice because it separates your upper and lower body, separates your muscles, so that you don't automatically switch direction. We don't want to switch direction. So think about that being one direction and it keeps going. You can travel any way you want. Just the circle in your body continues one direction. Let's try that. It's a little sneaky. It's a little advanced, but let's try it. It's a good one to really practice because the concept is easy to think about, but it's harder to do on the body. Let's do it. So either get your circle going without steps or get your feet going. And don't forget about your arms. So I'm going to get my circle going. That works best for me. And then I'll get my feet going. So let's slow it down. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, I added a step. So just 1, 2, 3. Let's try the 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. That was the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 step. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The circle keeps going. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Sorry. See how hard it is? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you can travel with this in any direction, but you do have to cross your feet sometimes if you don't want to get confused. 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember 4 is silent, or 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So my feet are going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. If I mirror you, right, left, 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 right, left. And the hip circle is going clockwise the whole time. There's no direction change in that. 3, 1, 2, 3. You can put your feet wherever it feels comfortable. One in front, one in back. 2, 3. You better be doing it with me. 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, one more. Good. All right, let's switch our direction. We're going to go counterclockwise. So switch your hips, go the other direction. And just for fun, we're going to start on the left foot or the opposite foot that you normally start on. Normally we start on the right. So get your feet going. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. See if we can go around in a circle. 3, 1, 2, 3. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Let's go the other way. Right, left, 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 right. So you can travel one direction. Continue with the hips. So we haven't changed the hip direction, only the feet. The hips do not change direction here. This is kind of a teaser for the brain too. 2, 3. Let's switch direction. So now we're going original direction clockwise. Let's travel with that. Right, left, 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 other way, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And relax. Nice deep breath, inhale. And exhale. All right. Woo! I broke into a sweat. I hope you guys were doing that with me. How do you feel? How'd that feel for you? Any questions? Any questions for anybody? Happy to answer questions. You've got lots to work with in that, just that one step. There's a lot going on with the body and the feet, and you can practice that step with any body movement. I just happen to pick one of the more difficult concepts, both in the turns that at least difficult in my experience in teaching it and also learning it. So I just picked those things that, one, I don't see them very often, the continuous turns and the continuous circles with that step. It's not something that I put the continuous turning into our Leilot Hope choreography, which we're starting this week in our belly dance session online. The other one with the continuous circle, I have not actually used that in any choreography for many, many years. And the one choreography I did use it in, I really forced myself to use it because I really wanted to practice it. So you can do that too. Force yourself to practice something within a choreography. That's why I love choreography, but it doesn't give you everything. It's a great place to start, even if you're just choreographing some drills that you put together of things that you want to work on, which I do quite often. That's really fun. Takes less brain power in remembering the steps, but then you can focus more on your technique. You can focus more on the rhythm, on the feel, and just getting used to it being in your body and owning it and making it yours. So drills are great for learning choreography. Choreography is great for improvisation. So they all go together. There's no one way that's best. You need all. Dance is all encompassing. It incorporates all the arts, so, and all parts of the brain. So it's really great to find different ways to incorporate that into your dance, into your daily movement. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you missed the chat or if you have a question about the courses, there's a link in my bio on Instagram and all over Facebook. I have lots of pages and links there. So a question on the YouTube, keeping the circle in a continuous direction with switching feet was an unexpected brain teaser. It really is. And as you saw, I was having a little trouble in the beginning as well. So it's definitely good to start slow. You don't want to go messy and start going too fast too soon, because then that's what your body will learn and it will never smooth out. So start slow. Make sure you got that circle down. Make sure you got that step down and put them together. Start playing around with the directions, tempos, even after you get really comfortable with it. So I really like that one. It's really fun to try. And I think it goes with a lot of different music. So you don't need any specific music, just something with a nice steady beat you can follow. Thank you for that question or comment, feedback. Appreciate that. All right, guys. It's time for me to go. I will keep the Instagram feed up on the stories, and the YouTube feed will also be up for a little while. And that way you guys can, oh, you're welcome. That way you guys can review it if you want. And I will put an edited version up for our enrolled students so that you can follow along with those. We come back in our 5 o'clock session today for enrollees. I'll announce next week's live free public class in usually on Sundays. So hope you guys join me for next week. We'll do it at a different time. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. See you soon. Thank you, Rachel.